Hey everyone, Lefko here, just here to announce the new RetroReviewRevolution.com. I've spent the past few months trying to get phpbb bulletin board going, learning how all that works. On top of that, learning how WordPress is installed onto your own server and learning how to operate that. That way I can finally move Retro Review Revolution away from the webs.com platform. Webs has served the site well for 2 or 3 years now. However, I don't like the fact that I cannot switch servers, I cannot back up anything, and if webs were to go down for some reason, we would lose everything. Now that's all fixed. We have started moving to a new server. Everything can be backed up now through WordPress and phpbb, so if something catastrophic were to happen and our server all of a sudden shuts down, I can install the backups on a new server and the site is ready to go, other than the fact that, we would be missing everything from the time in between the previous backup to the time when the crash happened. But I'm really excited about this. So if you guys want to check it out right now, you can go to new.retroreviewrevolution.com. Here in the next week, 2, maybe up to 3 weeks while we're working out the bugs, that will be the way to get to the new site. After most of the bugs have been worked out, I plan switching the retroreviewrevolution.com URL over to the new website. The new website also features tapatalk integration, which I have talked about in another video. You can go online with your smartphone or tablet and access all of the site's content, forums, and the WordPress part of it through a tapatalk setting. Just download the app on your phone, search for retroreviewrevolution.com, and boom, there it is, totally set up for you. So for the end user, it's going to be a lot more convenient. If you're already registered to the site, you're going to have to need to re-register. But that's probably the only negative. I've linked the WordPress and the bulletin boards into one account, so now you sign up for the boards, you automatically have the WordPress account set up as well. So I'm going to spend the rest of this video going onto the website real quick and just discussing some of the changes and design and some of the bugs I'm still trying to work.
Okay, I'm going to be doing a preview of the site, plus explaining my reasons why I'm actually changing the site over. This is the front page of the site, obviously. Made some changes here. You've got a title bar at the top. In the middle, you will see a slider, which will show the 5 newest articles as they're posted, and any photos that we want to add into them. I really like it. I think it's a pretty cool feature. Kind of gives the site a more active look. Scrolling down, you've got the login box down there, which will show all your information. You've got the shout box that's usually on the top on the old site. On the new one, we've integrated it instead into the sidebar. I'm going to make a quick post to show it working right now, also to kind of test it out. But yeah, I really like the sidebar. I really like the whole shout box thing too. It's like an easy way to communicate in like a more of a chat environment other than the forum, which is kind of limited. And down at the bottom, you'll see recent posts. Right down here is one of the bugs I was talking about. These 3 boxes that say in categorize, which show a couple of articles. I haven't quite figured out how to get rid of those yet. So, like I said, we're still working a few bugs out of the system. There's links also to the old site. I'm going to keep the old site and boards online. That way all of the old content is still accessible. Here you see the forums. It's a lot nicer. It's a phpbb step, which is what most forums use these days. Why I switched to this? It's so much easier to administrate everything. Rather than going through the web software, phpbb has a background process. It's what you're looking at right now, where I can go in and just access every little thing I want to on the boards immediately. Bring new forum members in, do some bans if you get like a spam bot in there or something. WordPress has the same level of integration in the background, which I really like. You've got your standard dashboard here. This, what we're looking at right now, is the software that actually melds WordPress plus the forums in together into one system. That way, one sign-in allows you to access both sides of the site. There's media there for people who post on the main site to work photos and everything into whatever posts that they make. We can manage comments, of course. We can manage how the site looks through here. There's a theme set up, which kind of shows all that. You know, like how the site looks. These here are all the plugins, which are extras I use to get the site working the way I want to. One adds in like our shout box, one adds in videos, one is our WordPress integration with phpbb. This is kind of like a user management. Anyone who writes articles and anything has to have an account over on the WordPress side, and this is where we manage all of that. Just makes things really convenient. This page here is where we manage all of the integration settings to keep WordPress and phpbb talking together. This section here allows me to link accounts. That way one sign-in will take care of both sides. I think it's a really handy setup. I really like the way the site's looking right now, other than that little bug at the bottom with the 3 uncategorized boxes. Still doing some work on the forum. I'd like to get the same background that we have in the main site over on the forums as well. I haven't quite figured out how to do that yet. I've got just a standard black background for now. And this is how I add files into the site. I no longer have to mess with another company's uploader. I can just straight up FTP in. I can also download everything. That comes in incredibly useful. If I want to back up the site, if we ever want to move the site again in the future, this time we don't have to all create new accounts and everything. Everything can be transferred just by taking these folders and copying them to a new server. Or let's say something goes wrong, we have a crash or something, and we lose all the information. Once a month, I take all these folders and I back them up on my hard drive. So if there is a crash, we wouldn't lose the entire site. We would only lose any new content from the time of the last backup to the crash, which I really, really am more comfortable with that setup than I am with our current setup. Pretty soon I'm actually going to show you guys our current setup and why I'm actually moving from it. It's worked well for us for the past 2 or 3 years, but I think it's time to move. Obviously using Windows 8. So let's check out the other site here real quick in just a second. Loading it up now. Go ahead and go in here to Site Management. Anytime now. Anytime now. Go figure. The time I decided to make a video on this, one of the reasons I want to move actually comes up. Sometimes this thing just does not want to go into site management. And I have no clue why, but it'll just refuse to load it. We're going to try to get in there again. There we go. And here, if I scroll down, you'll see the other pages. Right up here where it advertises the newest version of the site builder, we actually can't even use it. I've tried to upgrade our site to it, and our site just completely fails. Our sidebar completely disappears. Half of our topics completely disappear. I've got no choice but to revert back, more or less. This here is the site builder that they use. I like the fact that it's really easy to use. Just, what you see is what you get. I do have a little bit of custom widgets and HTML snippets in there, but for the most part, it's all just basic drag and drop and text dropping, and you're ready to go with it. But it also kind of limits what you can do. You can't really back anything up or anything. Everything is locked into their server, so if anything were to go wrong, boom, you lose the site. That's why I'm wanting to move. That way everything is saved. If anything goes wrong down the road, we're fine. So, thanks for putting up with me rambling on this video. I hope the background information of how the site runs was interesting. Talk to y'all later.
out.